This is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1. Now, today, as everybody might be aware, there was a hearing scheduled in the case of Florida versus Field McCannell. And there was sort of a Zoom hearing today where a few things were touched upon. The arguments over as to why Field McCannell should be granted his release and why he should not be granted his release, and why there should be a delay in any court proceedings because Kim Picazio was not able to be present today. Now, the short of it was that everything is being continued. It's actually going to be split up into two separate hearings. There's going to be a hearing a week from today, and there's going to be a hearing on the 28th of January. So, the state won on that respect that both of these hearings are being delayed. Now, what did come out today was something rather remarkable, and I believe by the time that I put up this video that people are not going to understand the significance of what came out in court today. It would appear that the attorney does not know a heck of a lot about social media, and he certainly does not know a lot about Twitter. For it appears that the defense is rather annoyed at a account that was kind of sort of put up in Field McCannell's name. Now, I think we all who follow this case closely are aware of what this account is. It is actually a parody account. Anyone who knows anything about social media realizes that this is not an impersonation of Field McCannell. It is, in fact, a parody of Field McCannell. Now, there are parody accounts to Donald Trump and other famous people up there. And I've had accounts of such a similar nature made about me. And this is something that I have contended for years. And I personally told Tim Holseth this because I told Tim Holseth that one of the sources of the material that he uses against me came off of one of these impersonator accounts. Of course, Tim Holseth doesn't want to listen to that, even though he complains the same thing is being done about him. But that's how these people work. They ignore the facts. And the fact is that the criticism of me and other people by this bunch are being done with material that is false and misleading. But they don't care. And now it is struck home because the defense in the hearing is crying about the parody Twitter account that's set up. And that is just too darn bad, Mr. Attorney. It falls under something called the First Amendment. Parody has been set up as a legal right in hearing after hearing after hearing. And this person is not actually saying they're Field McCannell. It makes that clear in there. Now, the person who owns the account probably should put parody in there just to keep himself legally protected, as a lot of people don't bother to do with these things, but that's up to whoever owns the account. So, as this fact gets out and everybody hears about it, this is going to be another Devin Nunes cows where an online presence that is not real is thrust into the limelight because of something that happens in a legal setting, in this case, in a court hearing for a stalking case. And all this declaration about, Field's going to be set free today, Field's going to this, Field's going to that, basically got shot down. And as I said earlier on the Mobilethons, I pretty well knew that this was going to happen, that a continuance was going to be granted so that Ms. Picazio can be present for the hearing on the dates that she said she can be present. And that's going to happen. And so next week and near the end of the month, these issues will be worked out in court, decisions will be made, and we will go forward. Now, as to the question of whether or not Field McConnell is going to be able to go to Plum City, that is up in the air. We are getting to be quite a while away from Mrs. McConnell's death, and I don't know how long they can wait before they lay her to rest. And I would find it rather strange that they would have her hang around in a freezer somewhere waiting for Field to miraculously show up so that she can be buried, but stranger things have happened. So we will have to see what happens in the weeks to come. Now, I would like to remind people of something. A little remark was made that Tim Holmseth is out there free as a bird, able to do everything he wants to do. Well, because of Tim Holmseth, Field McConnell is not as free as a bird and is able to do what he damn well pleases. Field McConnell is under house arrest at his son's house. Field McConnell was not able to be at the bedside of his dying wife because of Tim Holmseth. Field McConnell is sitting in a house in Florida while his wife is waiting in a cooler or wherever they put a dead body because Field can't be there. Field McConnell is having to sit in his house trying to figure out how he was going to deal with his recently deceased wife, and her body lays in state somewhere in a dark cooler, freezer, or whatever method of preservation is being used until such time as he is able to make a decision as to what to do with her, or whoever may have control over her remains. All because he met Tim Holmseth. Prior to meeting Tim Holmseth, Field McConnell never heard of Kim Picazio. Field McConnell didn't care about Kim Picazio. It took his meeting with Tim Holmseth and to hear Tim Holmseth's side of the story to make a judgment about Mrs. Picazio. Field McConnell did not take his time to do research into why Tim Holmseth has an agenda against Mrs. Picazio and whether or not Tim Holmseth was even telling the truth. And because of that, Field McConnell is not free as a bird to go anywhere he damn well pleases. And he's missed out on a lot, including the death of his wife and the ability to be with her in her final year of existence on this planet. So everybody can thank Tim Holmseth for that. It is what it is, folks. If you want to continue making Tim Holmseth to be the big hero he is, be my guest. I'm sure there are people out there that understand the ramifications as to why Field McConnell is in Florida and not in Plum City, have nothing to do with anything but Tim Holmseth filling his mind full of garbage and causing him to make a decision he otherwise would not have made and getting himself involved in the Picazio situation. So we wait. In 1 week, another step's going to be taken in the process, and by the 28th, another step is going to be taken in the process. And one way or another, I'll be here to report and comment on it. This is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.